making sure everything's working. That. All right, let's see. Cool, so that's working, and that's working. Nice. Good morning. So today again, we'll be streaming to both Reddit and YouTube. So if you're on Reddit, feel free to check this out on YouTube, just for a much wider shot and also much better quality. So today I'm actually I just want to do so a while ago I did a little YouTube video for throwing Blindfolded, which someone mentioned in the comment, or I think it was a message actually, that it might be a good idea to do that again just for fun on the stream, doing it live. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I'm also, for the YouTube as well, I've got a few like new kind of glaze test pieces that I'll happily show, but I'll do that afterwards. Hello, I'm just seeing all the chats on YouTube. Hey Luke, welcome back. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a practice first, just to get warm up, and then for the second one, which will be a bigger lump of clay, I'll do blindfolded. And so the rule is 10 minutes blindfolded, and I won't use any tools just because it will be easier not to have to do all that. But I'm going to start off with the smaller guys, just because I literally just woke up like half an hour ago. So this will be good to get myself warmed up and ready to go. And I'm just going to make sure all the cameras are working. Yep, that looks good. All right. So the challenge is 10 minutes blindfolded throwing a bowl. And the goal is to throw a bowl as wide as possible. I actually can't remember what I did last time. I need to check my old video, but maybe I'll just compare it afterwards. I don't think it was that big. But anyway, so this is a little bit smaller lump of clay. So the one I did last time was 2 kilos, and I'm going to do the 2 kilos again for, actually let me get my recycle bucket. Yeah, so 2 kilos. I think this is about 1.5 maybe. Luckily, I've been practicing bowls lately, so hopefully I can do this blindfolded. Alright, so maybe I'll set myself a timer for this as well. Alright, hey Siri, set timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes and counting.
So 10 minutes is a bit of a challenge already. I feel like I take a lot longer than that to make a bowl, especially a larger one like this. Last time I spent about 4 minutes centering, I think. So this time I just have to be a bit more conscious of time. So it won't be a very precise throwing today. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Also, I don't think this clay is centered, wedged properly, because these are from the recycle bucket that I just wedged up today. So I think there's a lot of, what is that? There's just a hard lump in it. Ugh. This is going to be a terrible example, but I'm going to get some stuff ready because this is going to be a bit trickier. Yeah, what is that lump? There's like a really hard piece of clay in it. I might wedge up the other one for a bit longer before I start, just to make sure. So for the clay that are being recycled, they just get chucked into a bucket, and technically you're meant to submerge them in water and then mix it up, and then dry it again. Sometimes I'm too lazy, so I don't actually submerge them. I just dry clay and wet clay together and hope that it will kind of equalize in temperature. I mean, oh. Yeah, this lump of clay is going to be very hard to work with. I might have to get a fresh one. So yeah, so if there's going to be like dry clay and wet clay like this, it's actually hard to move because, like, for example, there's a lump right here that is rock hard basically, which is my fault. I should have wedged it properly. So yeah, hence why this is so very wonky, but it's alright. I mean, I'm just getting myself warmed up. I'm just getting used to it. And if I'm doing the blindfolded challenge, I won't be able to do it precisely anyway, so it's alright. See that? This right here. Yeah, that's just a really hard lump of clay. That's not moving. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in doing that. That's alright. I think for the other one, I'll need to cut a fresh batch. I wonder if this is just as bad. Let me get rid of this. So this is what I get for not prepping properly. Hey Siri, stop timer. Alright, so
the timer.
That's a failed attempt number 1. Let me dry my hand real quick. Alright, so I'm just going to get a fresh lump of clay. Give me 1 minute. So this will be a lot nicer. This is straight out of the bag. Oops. So it should be a lot more uniform. Because I wasn't gonna keep this. I wasn't gonna keep this anyway. So I was being stingy and trying to use the recycled clay instead of fresh clay. And yeah, so that's what happens when you cut corners. Alright, so warm up again. Attempt number 2. Yeah, as much as I like seeing clay collapse, it is fun, but let's at least get something decent going. So I feel like next time I should do warm up before I go live. But it's alright to embarrass myself every now and then. All right. Okay. So just let me tidy up. actually. Oh, that camera's way off. I need to fix that later. Yeah, so much better. So if the aim is to get a bowl as wide as possible, I guess there's no point leaving too much clay down at the bottom, because it's not like it's going to get trimmed anyway. So if the goal, yeah. So if I have more clay on the wall, then I can get the bowl taller and wider. Like so. Bringing up the walls. Oh, I forgot to set the timer. So I'm just going up tall first, and then I'll open it up to make it wider. I think this way there's less chance of things failing. So now, just go. Let the clay stretch a bit. See, I don't have chat to speech, or else that will work. Maybe I should set something up like that, because sometimes it's hard to look at the chat while I'm throwing. So if I can hear it, it will actually be a lot easier. So basically now I'm just trying to find a point where I can go as wide as possible just before it collapses. So this is going to be much harder to do blindfolded when you don't see, or when you can't see what's happening. So yeah, it's not bad for a quick warm-up bowl. I should slow the wheel down as well. I just want to see how far I can go before it collapses. Be a good idea to get used to this clay. Yeah, this is starting to want to go. So this is probably as fast as I can go. I mean, it's barely a bowl, but I think this will still count. But okay, I'll show you what it looks like if I keep going. So I'm still thinning out the wall. So the weight is the same, but the further out it goes, the more it wants to flop down from the side. So see this? That's, if I don't touch it, it will probably go down on its own. I'll exaggerate it by spinning it faster, but see how it's becoming like almost a UFO? So a lot of the weight is on this point. kind of like the bottom, kind of this area of a bowl. That's why the clay needs to be a bit thicker there. But that could be a nice plate. All right. So that's what happens when you go too wide. All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna prep this clay properly, just to give myself a best chance of success. Whoops. Because this clay is quite stiff. This bag's been open for a while. So I'm going to just make it more into a circle or a ball. Alright, I think I need to wedge this properly, so I might have to do it at the table. Since I'm not keeping this one, I won't be too concerned about air bubbles. So I actually don't know how much this is. I think this is just over 2 kilos. I'm just gonna get this stuck down onto the bat before I put blindfolds on. Okay. So I'm just gonna use it. Is this long enough, I wonder? Nope, I need to get a tea towel. Okay. Alright. Well, it's alright, you can always watch it afterwards. So, what is this? This is a New Zealand tea towel. Okay. That's my bowl. That's my sponge. That's my clay. All right. I'll probably end up not talking for a while, but just because I'm trying to focus and see what's going on. All right. Hey Siri, set timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes and counting.
Alright, so centering this much clay is going to be a bit tricky. I guess a lot of feedback comes from texture, like, textile feeling from your hands anyway. So technically, I'm not losing that much without seeing what's going on. of regret getting this much clay. So again, I can't spend forever centering, but it will help in the long run if I do. Whose stupid idea is this? Oh, my arm. It's getting tired. That's pretty good minus the bottom. The top's always easy. Just yeah, nice. Get rid of a lot of this slip. Alright, so if I'm opening up about there. Might be better with a sponge. Actually, do I have the right camera on? I'm just going to cheat a bit. Oh, I do. Just making sure I don't go all the way through, but there's still space there. Hey Siri, how much longer on the timer?
It's running at 6 minutes and 55 seconds.
Does that mean I have 4 minutes left, or does that mean I have 6 minutes left? Alright, I'm just going to start opening this up. I can feel it going off center. Alright, I can go wider, I think. Yeah, I can go a bit wider. Oh, it's so wonky. I can't fix that without seeing it. Alright, now I'm going to pull the wall up. Yeah, it's a lot of clay. Wonky, wonky, wonky. So with clay, a lump of clay this big, it's much easier with a sponge than it is with fingers. I'm just going to be a bit more aggressive here. Because I need to get this clay up onto the wall instead of being down there, because it's kind of useless down there. I can feel how messy I am too. There's like slip everywhere. So I'm squeezing all that clay up. It's a little bit off center, but doesn't feel too bad. Yeah, I think I just need to be a bit more aggressive with it all. And use a lot of water. I'm going to start coming outwards now. Alright, so that's opening up quite easily up the top. So how wide is that? That's still alright. So if the base is there, no way. Okay, I've got a lot more to go. That's a weird shape. What's going on here? Oh, okay. My wheel's going too quick as well. Alright, so there's a kink here, there. So this can come back up a little bit. It's not collapsing yet, which is good. Hey Siri, how much longer on the timer?
3 minutes and 32 seconds to go.
Alright, I've got time, so let's slow down and see what's going on. So this is quite even. That's gonna collapse if I go more because that's quite thick. There's so much clay at the base. Alright, so in that case, I need to go higher. I feel like I rushed it too much. I'm trying to get a feel for what the shape is. It definitely feels like a bowl, so maybe it is. Compressing this down a bit. That'll help get the wall a little bit higher. Now widen the base. It's hard with just fingers, because usually if I'm doing this I'll be using wooden tools and stuff, but that's very hard to do without seeing what's going on. So I'm just trying to move clay with fingertips, and it's really tricky with this much clay. So I'm using my palm as well, because one to knocked it. One to support the bowl, and also gives me a little bit more feedback. Try to thin this out a little bit. Yeah, I'm definitely not keeping this. So maybe in the last minute I'll bring it out a bit more and hope that it won't collapse. I guess if it needs to be wide, it doesn't have to be, it can be more like a platter. I mean, this feels pretty wide. Where's my bat? That's 12 inches. So this is about 30 centimeters wide, because I know where my bat is. But it's not a 2 kilogram bowl. I feel like if I, ooh, it's, yeah. Yeah, it wants to flop. So maybe I'll just bring it back up a little bit. I'll slow the wheel down a touch. Yeah, I don't think I can go any wider. Not with the base like this. But if I do, you know, that's not terrible. If I dig deeper here, it'll feel more like a bowl. I'm tempted to collar it back in, but it's not flopping down yet, so technically it's still a bowl. I just can't get any wider than it already is. Alright, I'm just going to stop there. Where is my big sponge? Oh, I'm going to put my face in the bowl, aren't I? Hey Siri, how much longer on the timer?
8 seconds to go.
Alright, perfect. Hey Siri, stop timer. Oof.
I stopped the timer.
Thanks. Oh, hey, that's pleasantly surprised. Shit, that's pretty good. Oh, hello Reddit. Oh, is there clay on my face? There's definitely clay on my face, but that's okay. Alright, I'm gonna just measure this. I have a ruler here. So that's 27 centimeters, or 26 and a half. let's say 26.5. I'm gonna have to go back to my old YouTube video to see what the previous record is, but I'm actually quite happy with this. It's very similar to other bowls I've made, except, you know, it's a bit rougher in terms of the finishing and all that. But overall, how did I cheat? Why is everyone saying I cheated at on Reddit? Yeah, I'm in Australia. I just want to clean this up because, yeah, so the wall is not bad. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of clay down at the bottom here. The base didn't need to be... Oh, I peeked at the screen just to see if the stream is working. It wasn't, I didn't even see the bowl. Where's my... Let's give you guys a closer look. Alright, so that's, I mean, this is very heavy because that's a lot of clay, but I mean, that's a pretty good attempt. 10 minutes, blindfolded. It's got the shape of a bowl. It's nice and wide. And it's not really flopping. Like, I think, let's see how far I can go with this. Where's the pinhole there? Because I think this can actually get a little bit bigger. Well, maybe not that much. Because normally what I'll do is I'll use a wooden tool like this to get a much smoother interior, and that also makes the bowl stronger because it takes away a lot of the slip, which is just very wet clay, so they don't have much structural, I guess, integrity. So if I do this, let me slow the wheel down a bit and also bring this clay up a little bit. And then that will be a nicer bowl overall. But size-wise, I don't think I can get much bigger than this, to be honest. So basically the only way I can get it to go wider is to stretch the side out. And you can see here, that lump, this is this falling down. Yeah, so again, if I just spin it, give it a little bit more pressure, this is what happens. So that's starting to flop, and now it's a nice platter. There we go. So yeah, so it was pretty close to collapsing already. Yeah, now it's a plate. And now it's a lump of clay again. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, I'll go back to my old video. So if people on Reddit want to check out my first attempt, you can go to like my YouTube channel. There's one I did, it must have been like 4 months ago, maybe 3 months. It wasn't live though, so there was less pressure. But I think it was a lot smaller than this, for sure. Yeah, the YouTube chat is a lot more readable than Reddit. Also, you don't get weird people. No offense, Reddit. Alright. So I think that's... I'm just going to have a quick look at the Reddit chats. Yeah, it's a squishy, sloppy sound. Yeah, so that was really fun. I just want to show people quickly this, because I haven't been able to show this on the last business update I did on YouTube, and this is basically version 3 of the glaze that's being developed right now. So you can see, comparing, I think this would be a better comparison. So this was version 2. It's got a lot of roughness to it. And then this is version 3, which is a little bit smoother and a little bit more satiny. And you can really see the texture on this guy. So this is quite uneven, hence why it's a bit patchy. But it's kind of it's not glossy, it's not matte. It's like, basically it's meant to be a satin kind of texture. So see the light reflection, it's not too glossy, but it still has a bit of a sheen. So I think this is, I don't know if this is it. So I haven't tested this on the new clay yet, and I'm just waiting for stuff to come back from the kiln. Because this clay, it's a bit funny. It doesn't work the same way as my other clay. So this is so these two are the exact same glaze. Look how smooth and satiny this is. So this is on a porcelain clay. Especially like, it doesn't feel matte, it feels very smooth. And then this is unglazed down at the bottom. Yeah, so this is perfect. This is exactly how I wanted it. I wouldn't mind it being just like a smidge glossier. But this is basically it. And that, if I can get this texture on the other clays, I think this glaze is done. As the base glaze is done, I still need to add color to it. Just as a reference as to like how it changed. So this is, again, these two are the same glaze. This is just on a much rougher, so this is unglazed where it's warmer and yellow, and then the grayer bit is the glaze itself. This is also on quite thin. So I think if it's on thicker, it will be more white. But I also quite like that. I just don't know if it's very food safe if it's this rough. So if I use this clay, I'll have it on a lot thicker, and that'll look a lot nicer. And then just as, you know, this is the version 1. Now that I'm looking at this, see how glossy this is? I think I'm starting to think that when I mix this glaze, I missed an ingredient, because this doesn't make sense to me. These two are the exact same clay, and the glaze recipe is maybe like 2-3% difference. It's not on recipe, it's very close to each other. I don't know why this is so glossy. So I'm starting to think I did something wrong when I mixed that, which it's kind of stupid because all the other testing was based on this glaze. But now that we're here, I think 2 more weeks, maybe 2 more weeks, and I think this glaze is done. And I can start selling shit. And on that front, it's, so what's the date today? 12. So yeah, in about 4 weeks or in about a month, that's when the first shop update will go live. So on the 15th of October is when it will go live. And I'll launch the website maybe in the next 2 weeks. It's basically done. I just need to populate it with content and photos. I need to take photos of stuff, but I need to finish things first. So I've got a bunch of stuff coming back. I should have my first actual finished piece within 2 weeks. It all depends on how this glaze glows. And once that goes live, I can start selling shit, which will be great. Whew. All right, so I think that's about it for today. Mostly just wanted to do the little blindfold throwing just for fun. I'm going to take a break this weekend just because it's been a bit busy last week and this week, and I think I need to do more stuff. So I've been doing a lot of design work on the computer, just like putting mood boards and stuff together as to the colors that I want, the products that I want, and yeah, just to have a plan before I start making stuff. So in the next 4 weeks, it's going to be mostly, the first week or 2 will be mostly planning, and then I'll spend 2 weeks actually making stuff, and then 1 week finishing it off, uploading it to the website, and hopefully that's just, I know that sounds like 5 weeks, which it is, but hopefully that's just enough time to get to mid-October for the sales. All right, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hopefully that was entertaining. It was fun for me, so see you later.